When I first started homeschooling, my kids were 6, 3, and 1. My oldest was in first grade. My middle son was doing preschool work, and my youngest he was busy all the time while his brothers completed their schoolwork. That first year, we were able to get most of our schoolwork done in just a couple of hours, either before or after lunch. But as the years went on, and as each of my kids were added to our schoolwork took more and more time, and things got complicated. So I decided to adopt one of the most popular pieces of homeschool advice: tackle subjects as a group as much as possible. History and science were my choices for group work. At first, it was okay. It was a new experience, so my kids went with it. It became less okay over time, though. One of my kids was constantly running around. Another was super competitive with his brothers, which would result in fighting. And the third, well, he would just completely tune out while all of this activity was going on, and tuning out meant learning wasn't happening. I have finally accepted the fact that this piece of homeschool advice that is shared universally as the best solution to simplifying the homeschool day, it just doesn't work for us. This is our 7th year of homeschooling, so it has taken entirely too long for me to accept this. But that's how seductive some advice is, especially when we're having a hard time or overwhelmed and just want a solution. We just want to solve our problems. That's why the defining needs stage is the first step in the homeschool plan decoder method for creating a customized homeschool. I'm Leslie Maddox, an engineer turned homeschool mom, and I want to help you customize your homeschool. Because in order to ignore bad advice and make your homeschool as unique as your family, you'll first need to assess your family's needs right now during the current season of your lives and customize your homeschool to fit those needs. And you'll need to do this every year because any veteran homeschooler can tell you that every year is different. Families grow, kids grow, responsibilities change, interests change. Even living in a brand new home can drastically change the way your homeschool functions. So evaluating your family's current needs is paramount. The first step you should take when assessing your family's needs is creating a family focus statement. This is not a throwaway step, so don't tune out just yet. You will not save any time by skipping it and going directly to choosing curricula, because your family focus statement is the key to fitting homeschooling into your family rather than making your family fit around homeschooling. It helps you to define your family culture and explicitly state what your family is all about. And it helps you to avoid playing the homeschool imitation game, because we can imitate actions, but we cannot duplicate results. The Homeschool Planning Decoded Starter Kit contains a worksheet that walks you through the process of creating a family-focused statement. You'll also find some examples in there. You can download the starter kit at the link below. Or you can create your family-focused statement on your own by using this process. First, define your family's current season of life. Your family season is often characterized by your kids' ages, challenges that your family is currently experiencing, or transitions that your family is going through. For example, are you in a season of littles with babies and toddlers? Or are you in a season of big kids where all of your kids are school-aged and potty trained? Thank you, Jesus. Is your family dealing with health or financial challenges? Is there a move or a job change that is requiring transitioning? What most characterizes your family season right now? Determining your family season will help you to narrow down curriculum choices later on. For example, if you'll be experiencing a move during the academic year, this probably isn't a good time to do a lot of hands-on and crafty projects that require all manner of supplies, because all of those supplies need to get packed up or purged during a move. Instead, you'll want to keep things as simple as possible, maybe focusing on workbook or online learning. After determining your family's current season of life, move on to thinking about how structured or flexible your family is. Your family's level of structure or flexibility will be affected by the personalities of the members of your family. Some people prefer flexible routines and feel stifled by a very structured day. Other people absolutely need a lot of structure to get through the day. Likely, the members of your family will have varying needs of flexibility or structure, so in the interest of family harmony, you'll need to consider how to accommodate these varying needs. In my own family, I have a son that is autistic and thrives on structure. And I have another child that is more of a free spirit. I call him my liberal arts kid. So my family absolutely requires structure, but with periods of flexibility to make my liberal arts kid happy. Other factors affecting your family's structure and flexibility will include responsibilities outside of your home, like jobs and volunteer roles. And also your current season of life, because nap times and potty training submit to no man or woman. After determining what level of structure your family needs, spend some time thinking about your family values and the corresponding actions you take or want to take to live out your values. This is a big part of defining your family culture and making sure that homeschooling fits into your life instead of taking over your life, keeping you from what's the most important. So think about your family's values. Values are ideas like compassion, essentialism, diversity, a healthy lifestyle, community, that kind of thing. It's an idea that determines your life and work choices, an idea that you want to pass on to your kids. You want to be a bit specific here, not too general. So, for example, faith is too general of an idea. Being a good person is too general. Instead, ask yourself what that idea means to you and be honest. Don't think about what other people will like or be impressed by. Narrow down that general idea to something more specific. Instead of faith, you may narrow that down to worship or biblical literacy or prayer. Instead of being a good person, you may narrow that idea down to living a life of forgiveness or showing love to your neighbors. As you think about this, you'll probably want to pick more than one value, because I know that many values will be important to your family, and you'll want your family to live out all of them. But for the purposes of incorporating homeschooling into your life, pick the one value that you want to work on in this current season of life. You can focus on a different value every year, and you probably will, but let's just focus on the most important one right now. After choosing that value, think about how you want to live out that value. For example, if the value you've chosen is a healthy lifestyle, the way you live out that value during the coming year may be through exercise. This is important to know because it will affect your daily and weekly routines. If the value you've chosen is essentialism, you may live out that value by limiting your possessions, which could definitely affect how you homeschool. If the value you've chosen is community, you may want to live out that value by being more involved in your neighborhood, your church, or a homeschool community. That means that you'll need to leave a lot of room in your days and weeks for being involved in activities outside of your home. Now that we've gone over the different elements of a family focus statement, let's put it all together. You'll do that by customizing this statement to your family. To show you how simple this can be, let me share some examples. If you have little kids and are focused on the day-to-day, you may define your family focus statement like this. During this season of littles, I want to maintain moderate flexibility in our home so that we can create family harmony with everyday magical moments. If you've recently moved and are still getting used to your new living situation, your family focus statement may be, during this season of adjusting to a new town, I want to maintain a high level of structure in our home so that we can create a peaceful home with new routines. A family focus statement for a season of health struggles may look like this. During this season of health challenges, I want to maintain a moderate level of structure in our home so that we can maintain a sense of hope with normal routines and plans for the future. If you're building a business, your family focus statement may be, during this season of building a business, I want to maintain a high level of structure in our home so that we can focus on financial responsibility by staying on budget. Those are just some examples of how to create a family focus statement. Write it down and hang on to it so that it can serve as a guidepost to you as you go through the decision-making aspects of creating a customized homeschool. like creating routines and choosing curricula. Once it's written down, you'll be ready to continue in the process of customizing your homeschool. We'll talk about the legal requirements for homeschooling in the next Homeschool Planning Decoded video. You can access all of the videos that walk you through the steps of the Homeschool Planning Decoded method of customizing your homeschool right now at the link below. And happy planning!